Today I'm going to show you how to make healthy double chocolate banana bread. It's gluten-free, dairy-free, and you only need one bowl, so it's going to be minimal cleanup. It's definitely one of those recipes where no one's going to believe you. It's actually healthier. Did you know you can actually make your own oat flour at home? All you have to do is blend oats in your blender. So this recipe calls for 2 cups of oat flour and putting it into my blender, and I'm going to blend it up until we reach a flour-like consistency. Okay, so that blended for almost a minute and the flour is nice and fine. So it looks just like flour. So I'm gonna add this to our bowl. Now we're gonna take 3 spotty bananas. You wanna make sure your bananas are nice and spotty because that's gonna make them sweeter. And the bananas are a main sweetener in this recipe. There's not a whole lot of added sweetener. So I'm adding these bananas to a plate before I put them in the bowl, just so we can mash them up with a fork. So we're just gonna take a fork and mash the bananas up. Okay, so this is about what we want our bananas to look like. So now I'm just gonna add this into our bowl. Now I'm adding in 2 eggs. And now I'm adding in 1/2 cup of coconut sugar. You could also use regular cane sugar or brown sugar. Now I'm adding in 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. You wanna make sure you're using 100% pure unsweetened cocoa powder. Next, we're adding in 1/4 cup of oil. I'm using avocado oil, 2 tablespoons of milk. You can use regular or non-dairy. Now we're adding in some salt. And last but not least, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Now we're gonna mix it all together. Make sure it's nice and combined. Now we're just gonna stir in some chocolate chips. So we're gonna stir that up. I'm already so excited to eat a piece of this. Now we're taking our loaf pan. I lined it with parchment paper just to make sure nothing sticks. And I like to use these little clothespins to make sure the parchment paper stays down while I pour it in. Just make sure to remove the clothespins before you put it into the oven. Now we're gonna take our batter and pour it into the loaf pan. Smooth out the top of the banana bread. Now I'm just gonna sprinkle a few more chocolate chips on top. Now it's gonna go into the oven at 350 for about 45 minutes. All right, it just came out of the oven. I am so excited. It cooled a little bit, so we're gonna take it out of the loaf pan. It seriously looks and smells so good. Every time I make this for someone, they cannot believe that it's actually healthier and made with wholesome ingredients. All right, let's slice into it. Look at how decadent it turns out. It's super rich and fudgy, and it's sure to be a crowd pleaser.